And one such long investor is Vijay Kedia, who I've always admired for his ability to pick up stocks. He's an original thinker. He believes in buying not very large cap stocks, but mid and small cap stocks which have potential to, let me put it, he's got this ability to buy small cap stocks which can become mid cap stocks and mid cap stocks which can become large cap stocks. So we'll have a chat on where he's finding opportunity in this market and how does he view the market right now. Vijay, fantastic to have you back on ET Now. Thank you so very much for joining us. Hope everything is fine, your family, your boys.
Happy, everything is fine because everything is fine. Thank you.
Okay. We've got you on a day when just a coincidence that US markets have sold off and stocks like Nestle, stocks like Apple, Nestle, they're down 7 to 8%. So markets right now, Vijay, are in a lot of market participants are in a hurry to call the market top. What is your view on the market? Should one use global corrections and bad days to buy, or should one use bad days and global corrections to book profits?
Let me tell you, first of all, Nikhil, this is what I have understood and what I have experienced in my life. That evaluating this whole market on the base of movement of indexes is totally wrong. It's a myth. Let me give you few examples. Like in Nifty IT index from 2000 to 2020 has appreciated 8 and 9 times. Infosys has also appreciated 8 and 9 times. TCS has appreciated 15 times, more than 15 times or 20 times. Wipro is same, 2000 level. So if somebody had invested in Wipro, looking at the Nifty IT index, then he would have really lost his fortune. So I think this narrative is totally wrong. Bull market is always there. As I had said earlier, also it is like a sunlight. It is somewhere there in the market. You have to choose. You have to have an unbiased mind and to select your stocks. Now coming back to today, whatever is happening today in US market, it was bound to happen. And I don't think this correction has come to an end. It may have a prolonged correction also. So, which is for me, it is very difficult to describe that how this rally or this correction is going to take place. But none of my investments are based on the US market, nor the indexes, nor Nifty, nor Sensex and all. They have their individual territory, individual, pattern. So I am just focusing on my individual investments.
Fair point. Thank you very much. So since you spoke about sunlight, let me also use the word drought. We've seen a drought in mid and small cap stocks in last 3 years. But given the recent price action, do you think now a new bull market in mid and small cap stocks has started? And are we in for a big move, a big rally, and a market like we saw between 2014 to 17 or 13 to 18?
You see, when we are talking about small cap and mid cap, then we are talking about 4,000 shares. Okay. So all of them are not going to sell in the same directions. So basically, I am focusing only not more than 300, 400 shares. So out of them, you will get opportunity in lot of shares. But I somehow feel that this rally in the market is somehow similar to what happened in 2017, when everything was 17 and 18, when everything was going up. So I'm little cautious, no doubt about it. But having said that I don't intend to sell any of my shares. So I have reshuffled my portfolio. So I am okay even if index Nifty goes down by say 1,000 point or so. If it goes down, I'm not saying that it's going to fall. So whatever correction comes in the market, I am okay with this, and I am mostly invested into mid caps, as you know. So I am okay with my mid caps.
Vijay, the trend both locally and globally is that mid cap businesses are getting marginalized. Small cap businesses are finding it difficult to survive, and big companies are becoming mega companies. Now, for a mid-cap investor, some would argue that does it make sense to invest in mid and small cap stocks when there is an existential crisis for a lot of these companies? There are a lot of businesses which may not exist. There are a lot of businesses where either business is bad or the promoter is bad. And there are some cases where both is bad.
Yeah, I remember in one of the interview, Manish Sabharwal of Team Lease, I think he has said that there are 63 million enterprises in India. And out of those 63 million, just 18,500 having a capital of more than 10 crore. So all these things are going to consolidate. Okay. So this is what ultimately maybe a lot of companies will die. Now coming to small cap and mid cap, let me tell you, there are many sectors which are dominated by mid caps only. There are no large caps, right? For example, I'd say Sera Sanitary Ware. It plays a dominant role in not into sanitary, sector, but as a whole also in housing and all, it's playing an important role. But it's a mid cap only. So that mid cap idea is to find a small cap which can transform into a mid cap and a mid cap which can transform into a large cap. It might take 10 years or 15 years. So this is what the job of an investor to do in the market.
Okay. So let's talk about where you've invested. We had a interaction or a similar interaction a couple of years ago, and that time you said that, look, I'm betting on Indian middle class. The Indian middle class will consume, per capita will grow. So you bought into Sera Sanitary Ware, you bought into Atul Auto, and you bought into some property stocks. What is the theme which you are betting on now?
Currently, I am betting on one thing is very, what I am focusing on is that PC and DC, that pre-corona, during corona, and post-corona. I don't know when this post-corona phase will begin, but as of now, I am focusing on this theme only. And certainly technology is where I am focusing. And that is why I have reshuffled my portfolio. And my current theme is technology. Digital technology, new age technology.
Fair point. So you are trying to morph your portfolio towards companies which would benefit because of the digital adaptation. When you say you've reshuffled your portfolio, what have you sold?
I sold many shares. Whatever mistake I did in the past, I tried to rectify. I sold my JMC project, I sold. And some Everest Industries also I have sold. And some small cap I had bought. I did a lot of what we call grand masti. So I bought some Yash Pakka and all. So like this Kopio Camlin I had bought at 100 ka P. So I got punished. So I sold all those shares. And some more, I don't remember.
Fair point. When we interacted last on a webinar, you had shared with our viewers that you had invested in Z and Bajaj Auto. Are you still invested in them?
Yeah, Z I am still invested. On the contrary, I have bought more 15 days back. And Bajaj Auto I have sold. For the reason, because I thought that maybe Bajaj Auto is a wonderful company, one of the best company in India, in the world. But only reason I thought that maybe it won't multiply. So my job is to look for the companies which is not only good, but which can rise faster than others. So that is why I sold off my Bajaj Auto.
When you say you're focusing on tech, what is your understanding on what is the best way to play on tech? Should one bet on telecom? Should one bet on IT? Should one bet on a data provider? Because there are a lot of ways in which you can say that, look, I'm betting on tech. And there are a lot of ways in which you can invest in technology companies. One is front-ended, one is back-ended, one is somebody who's an intermediary, one is a beneficiary. How are you looking at it?
You see, my knowledge in this thing is very limited. So let me come to the point that I have invested in Oracle Financial for the simple matter that they are into cloud. And I think cloud is the new FMCG. This entire technology sector to me sounds like consumer thing. Okay. So I think every company sooner or later in next 5 years has to go digital. And cloud is the game. So therefore I have invested in cloud. Oracle, and it is not a recommendation. Whatever we are talking, Nipun, that you please you will say this is a disclaimer that because in the past also so many times I have gone wrong, so please remember that. And plus I have bought Z is also a technology company, so I have bought not digital technology, but a part of it is in digital as well. And plus Ramco Systems I bought a little bit, as you know, in the disclosure and all. And plus I have bought some Tejas network, which is related to telecom technology. So these 4-5 things I have done.
Vijay, some would argue that you've been an old economy investor. You've bought into cement companies, you've bought into auto companies, you've bought into specialty chemical companies. Why tech? That's not something where you've historically invested.
No, if you look at my portfolio, like Weber Global, it's a tech company only. Like look at Wipro India, although I did not make any profit even after holding for 5 years, but it is okay. I'm still hopeful. It is also a tech company. So you have to change with time. If you want to change with time, then you will become obsolete, right? So nowadays, if you tell me, I will not invest in any steel company. Like I was a big investor according to my portfolio. I was holding Tisco, big quantity. Then maybe ACC, as you rightly said, that cement and all. But those are past for me. So I'm trying to keep myself upgrading and updating. So that is why I've chosen.
Fair point. Vijay, stock market perhaps is the only place where in a bad market, gold gets traded at the price of silver or brass. In a euphoric market, the same gold sometimes starts trading at a valuation of platinum and diamond. Where do you think right now gold is available at the price of brass, and where do you think gold right now is available at a price of diamond?
Let me tell you, I may be wrong again. Like companies like say Asian Paints and Nestle, these are gold, of course, 24 karat gold, but they are selling at a price of diamond. So I wouldn't buy them at any price and money at this price. And now coming to gold available at a price of silver, I think that time has gone. That opportunity we have gotten in the month of May or June or maybe July. But now I don't think that we are getting, maybe in some pockets you might get some value. But I think, like if I'm talking about my shares, I think all these golds are available at a price of gold only. Maybe 24 karat gold could be available at 22 karat gold and all. Could be that, because it is very difficult to determine. So I think that gold available at a price of silver, that time has gone for the time being. Until unless market corrects, then again you might get that kind of opportunity.
Now, some of the stocks which you own, and since we've interacted both personally and professionally on various forums, when you invest in a company, on an average, you invest for minimum 3 to 5 years, sometimes beyond 5 years. So some of the stocks which you've mentioned, as of today, do you see a visibility of 3 to 5 years? I mean, have you bought it for long haul?
You see, whenever I buy any shares, I don't keep any price target, nor do I keep any time target. So I buy them forever. This is what the intention is here. Okay, but that does not mean that I will not change my mind next day. I can change my mind the moment I finish my buying. Maybe in next hour I will change my mind and I can sell. So I reserve that right with me. Having said that, I always keep in my mind that I don't have to sell these shares forever. So forever in the sense, certainly you never know what is going to happen after 5 years. But certainly in my mind, I don't have any price target. Some of the stocks I'm still holding, which I bought in 2004 and 5 Katiji. Like, as you said, that some portion of Atul Auto as a souvenir, I'm still holding even after rising 100 times. Even Serra Sanitary, where I'm still holding. So I have enough patience. I can hold the shares for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, as long as they are doing good and they are not doing any mischief. I can hold on to them.
How do you decide that you have to invest in a stock? Because investing, I know people who take days to research companies. There are analysts who take months to come out with a view on the company. But what I know of your investment style is that you don't have a single research analyst at office. You take your decisions independently, and you are a very quick decision maker, which is that 1 or 2 meetings with the management, 1 or 2 understanding of the concept, and you take a big bet. How do you decide this? How does the investment process work?
I have research analysts, but frankly speaking, I just take data from them. I am doing what is there in my mind only. So I have a principle called SMILE. Okay, small in size, medium in experience, large in aspiration, and extra large market potential. So this is what this formula I apply in all my investments. And basically, I'm looking for the next disruptive story I'm looking for. This is what my only job. Okay, I have got 2 jobs, 2 responsibilities, or maybe it is one, dreaming and thinking. Okay, thinking about what is going to be the next disruptive story in the world or in India, and then dreaming that how can I be, beneficial from that story. So I'm just looking for disruption. That's it. This is, you can see from my portfolio, whenever I changed my portfolio, like even Sudarshan Chemical, when I bought in 2014, idea was this only, that maybe now they are going to disrupt themselves. Something is drastically going to change in this sector. So that's my job. That's my responsibility to keep an eye on the changes taking place in the world or around you.
You bought Sudarshan Chemical, I think, in 2014 or 15, if my memory serves me right. Post that, we've seen a stellar comeback in chemical stocks. Chemical stocks are today trading at P multiples of consumer companies. But Sudarshan somehow has been a laggard in last 1.5 years. Why is that? And are you still holding on to Sudarshan? And do you plan to hold on for next couple of years?
Yes, in 2014, price of Sudarshan was 40 rupees. Okay, in 2017 or 18, the price of Sudarshan was 600 rupees. So 15 times in just 3 years and 4 years. That time, all these chemical shares were there only at 2014 level or maybe 15 level. So they started their journey, earlier. So that is why now they are resting. This is what I tell myself. As it is, I'm not going to buy other chemical shares which are, having a P ratio of 40 or 50 and 60. I can't digest that. So Sudarshan is okay. It is valued, reasonably valued. And although I have sold some shares, let me tell you, in this mayhem and all, I have sold some shares because that was the only liquid shares which I could sell. So, but I don't know. I can't tell you now, looking at the scenario world around, I can't tell you that I am going to hold for 5 years or 10 years. That commitment I don't want to give as of now.
So how did you deal with the March fall? Like they say on Dalal Street, लोगों की हवाइयाँ उड़ गई थी. How did you convince yourself to buy more and not sell? Because mid-cap stocks had fallen 50-60%. The index itself had fallen 40%. So how did you convince yourself that it's time to buy, not time to panic?
No, let me tell you, I was really very much worried in the month of April and May, mainly after this lockdown. I was really, it would be a lie if I don't tell you that I really had many sleepless nights. Okay. So I thought this world has really come to an end, and whatever your portfolio, whatever value your portfolio is showing, your demat account is showing, that is just a digital money, and we are finished. This is what I had really thought. So what I did at that point of time, because most of my shares are illiquid. Okay, it is like Abhimanyu. I know how to enter. I don't know how to come out. So what I did, I sold some of my shares. As I said, I sold some Sudarshan and some other shares also. So you can say around 5% of my portfolio I made, liquid. Just to safeguard, just in case suppose something bad happens, so at least I have some money to support my family or to support my expenses and all. At least I should have some 6 months, 1 year or 2 years of expenses and all. So that is what I did. I sold some shares irrespective of their merits. And I kept money in the bank. And that also I would like to tell you, I kept money in two banks, thinking that maybe one bank will also fail. So that was the thing going on in my mind. I thought it is like, but as usual, as it happened that I'm enemy to cash. In my entire life, I had never been in cash for long, maybe for 5 days or 10 days or 15 days. Then one day, I realized that maybe government might also confiscate your money lying in the bank. I read one article in China that they are, you are not allowed to withdraw money from the bank. So I thought maybe government will also confiscate your money in the bank. So money in your demat account is safer than money in your bank statement. So that was one thought going on. I tell you what weird money thinking was going on there in my mind during that time. But finally, in the month of maybe May or June, I realized I found some shares which are really very cheap. So I couldn't resist and I invested whatever money I had. I invested in those shares. So this is how it happened. And as it is 5% of portfolio, doesn't make much of difference. And plus I reshuffled, as I said, that I sold my GMC, Kopio, this and all. And I invested in some new companies.
How much importance do you pay to macro trends, forecasts from rating agencies or other global, macro bodies? I mean, is that a criteria which you consider when you are investing?
No, generally when I invest in companies, they don't have any rating also, and there is no micro trend and macro. Of course, I always see that this company is going to survive for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or not. As I said, my main focus is only in the companies, disruptive companies only, which are going to disrupt the existing business model. So for at that point of time, like for example, I invested in Z. At time, what they did was the rating agencies were down only, and given thumbs down. So there was no reason why I should have invested according to the rating agency. I shouldn't have invested into Z. But I took a chance and I thought, so that is why I don't give much value to all these, and even financial parameters also. Many of the times when I buy, at that time, the financial, parameters are very weak. But I take a call that going forward, it will sooner or later, it will revive. So this is how I look.
Vijay Kedia is a successful investor. How much role do you think luck, kismat, has played in his success?
Maybe many people won't agree with me. I think 150%. And if you ask me why 150%, 50% because whatever stupidity I did and I did not get punished, even after that I am little bit successful. Even after so many stupidity I did in my life, even then if I am somewhere there, that is because of my luck. So 150% luck played and 50% my stupidity. This is, I would say. So I believe, of course, luck plays a greater role. Maybe people who are very educated, who are very knowledgeable and all, for them, maybe that knowledge is luck for them, or that education is luck. But in my life, I think that wherever I am, that is only because of my luck, and of course my perseverance. So that is also a game of luck.
Okay, two more questions, and I'm trying to understand the behavioral part of a successful investor, because years ago information was an edge. Then analysis became an edge, but in your case, I think behavior and perseverance has played a very large role. How do you differentiate between perseverance, passion, and foolishness? There are times when people buy stocks and they get complacent about it, they don't sell, the stock comes down. There are times when you don't sell the stock and the stock recovers, and that is rewarded as conviction. How would you differentiate?
Sorry, I did not understand your question.
No, my question, Vijayji, is very simple, that there are times when stocks go down and you don't sell and they fall further. people call it is that you got blinded. It was a foolish investment. There are times when stocks go down and you don't sell, and when they come up, it is called as vision and it is called as conviction. How do you differentiate between the two?
One thing I realize here, too much of analysis leads to paralysis. Okay, I don't think so much when I invest in any company, whatever money I have put in that company. Honestly speaking, I don't consider that money my own. Okay, वो बोलते हैं शरीर भगवान का है और धन बाजार का है. Whatever money your demat account is showing actually, so that is not your money, that is borrowed from the market. So I don't think that much. I don't consider that money as mine. So it is not like that. Whenever I buy any shares, first thing it happens that they fall. So it is okay if my conviction is strong. As I said, that I have a lot of patience in my life. I can sail through the stock for 10 years and 15 years. And there are many stocks which hasn't performed, like Repro India Limited. It hasn't performed in the last 5 years. But as long as I'm convinced with the story which is going to play out, maybe when I don't know, it doesn't bother me. Of course, I'm not making money, but that is okay. It's like a game. You can't win every game every time. You have to give up some. You have to win some. But to me, more important is to be in the game. So that is more important to me. So I think I am stubborn and I am patient. And that's it.
Well, we've had a fantastic interaction, Mr. Kedia. Thank you very much. We've covered a range of topics on what your view is, how are you aligning your portfolio, what successful investors do, and how keeping it simple in life perhaps is the best way. How can one really be a successful investor? You don't need too much of IQ perhaps to be a successful investor. All you need is perseverance. You need courage you need vision to see, courage to buy, and patience to hold. And sometimes patient is the most rarest thing. Appreciate your time, Mr. Kedia. Thank you very much and stay safe.
Thank you. You too, Nikunj.